Hi, I'm Vicki Williams and welcome back to my blog series about work-life balance. In the last blog, we identified how to determine if you are out of balance. If you need to jump on over to that blog to refresh your memory, here's the link. Happiness is the key. 85% of your happiness comes from your relationships with other people. Learn how to achieve happiness, harmony, and high performance in everything you do. Practice these strategies for balanced living that guarantees higher levels of satisfaction and inner peace. 1. Recognise that change needs to occur. 2. Know what you can do to create change. 3. Know where to go for assistance to create change. And 4, create a vision of what you would like your result to look like. Number 5, set clear goals and structure a plan to achieve it. I want to share this story. It's pretty old and you've probably heard it before. But think about the message contained in the story as you put work-life balance into perspective. Now the story goes like this. A professor stood before his philosophy class and had some items in front of him. When the class began, he picked up a very large empty mayonnaise jar and he proceeded to fill it with golf balls. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. The professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly and the pebbles rolled down into the areas between the golf balls. He then asked the students again if the jar was full, and they agreed it was. The professor next picked up a box of sand and he poured that into the jar, and of course the sand filled up everything else possible. He asked once more if the jar was full, and the students responded with a unanimous yes. The professor then poured 2 glasses of wine from under the table. He poured the entire contents into the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the sand. The students laughed. "Now," said the professor, as the laughter subsided, "I want you to recognise that this jar represents your life. The golf balls are the important things. Your family, your children, your health, your friends, and your favourite passions. The things that if everything else was lost and only they remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, and your car. And the sand is everything else, the small stuff. If you put the sand into the jar first," he continued, "there would be no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for your life. If you spend all of your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children. Take time, get a medical checkup. Take your partner out for dinner. Play another 18 holes of golf. Do one more run down the ski slope. There will always be time to clean the house and fix the waste disposal. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter to you. Set your priorities. The rest is just sand." One of the students raised their hand and inquired what the wine represented. The professor smiled. "I'm glad you asked. It just goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem, there's always room for a couple of glasses of wine with a friend." In the next blog, we'll look further into what happens if you ignore an unbalanced lifestyle. So please subscribe to my blog so you don't miss out on how to solve this troublesome problem called work-life balance. In the meantime, has anyone out there achieved what they perceive work-life balance to look like? In the comment section below, I'd love to hear if you are struggling with work-life balance, or have you achieved it? If you have, I know my readers would love to know how you did it. So until the next blog, take care.